Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just talking about politics. We're diving into a story. We're going to try and unpack the beautiful and, let's be honest, wildly unpredictable puzzle of the Bihar election.
It all starts with just one word, Bihar. A name that, for so many in India, brings up all these images of ancient history, of incredible complexity, and of course, a political landscape that is truly unlike anywhere else. Because you see, this is a place where elections don't just happen. They aren't just a process. They feel like these huge, transformative events. They unfold piece by piece like a grand story. Every 5 years, the whole state just transforms. And today, we're going to figure out why.
Okay, so to get our heads around this puzzle, let's meet our guide, if you will. He's a school teacher named Keshav. And for him, the election isn't all the noise and the rallies you see on TV. No, for him, it's a collection of millions of silent, deeply personal stories.
So for Keshav, this whole thing is what he calls Bihar's election puzzle. He really believes that every single voter, right there in the privacy of the polling booth, becomes a kind of silent storyteller, adding their own secret chapter to the state's future. And that's the big idea we're going to explore.
Now, the first layer of this puzzle, well, it's the one that everyone can see and hear. It's that loud, passionate debate that you'll hear in every tea stall, every village square. Is this whole election really about caste, or is it about development?
On one side, you'll hear this, declared with absolute certainty. This idea that tradition, community, your identity, that's the only thing that really matters when it's time to vote.
But then, just as loudly, you'll hear the complete opposite. The argument that no, the old ways are fading. Now it's all about aspiration. It's about jobs. It's about real, tangible progress.
And this is what's so fascinating. In Bihar, both of these statements can be completely true and completely wrong, all at the same time. The real puzzle isn't about picking which side is right. It's about understanding how these two massive forces manage to coexist.
But you know, all those loud debates, that's just the surface. To really get what's going on in Bihar, you have to look deeper. You have to look for the hidden clues, the silent game changers that are working underneath all that noise.
For one, you've got the political chessboard itself. I mean, alliances here can completely reconfigure themselves overnight. Bitter rivals become partners. The whole landscape is just constantly shifting under your feet.
And then you have what is maybe the most significant hidden force of them all, the women voters. They consistently, election after election, turn out in huge numbers, often even outnumbering the men at the polling stations.
And they are changing the entire political calculation, but they do it very, very quietly.
Silently. See, their decision isn't made in those loud public debates. It's made in the quiet of the voting booth. And this is that powerful silent force that the experts and the analysts just seem to get wrong time and time again.
So all of this, the debates, the hidden forces, it all builds to the climax of our story, voting day. This is it. This is the moment of truth, and we're going to see it through Keshav's eyes.
So Keshav is watching these long, patient lines, and he doesn't just see a line of voters. He sees stories. He sees women quietly discussing things like safety or the price of cooking gas. He sees young men whose entire futures depend on getting a job here or having to migrate. And he sees the elders who remember leaders and promises from a whole different era. Everyone has their own reason for being there.
And here's the great paradox, right? From the outside, the campaign season can look totally chaotic. But on voting day itself, the whole process is incredibly disciplined. It's calm, it's profound, and it is deeply, deeply alive. It's democracy at its absolute purest.
Okay, so the votes are cast in silence. And then comes the result. This is the twist in our tale. This is the part where BR almost always delivers a massive shock.
And it usually unfolds like this. The counting starts, and almost immediately the exit polls. You know, the ones that are supposed to predict everything, they start to look shaky. Pretty soon, they just completely collapse. All the expert predictions, they fail. And Bihar, once again, delivers a surprise that almost nobody saw coming.
So what is the answer to the puzzle then? What's the magic behind it all? Well, this is where the story finally reveals its unforgettable secret. The magic isn't just one single thing. It's this incredibly complex recipe of powerful, often contradictory ingredients.
In that final decision, in that one vote, you find this perfect mix of identity and aspiration, a constant push and pull between tradition and the desire for change, and a silent dance between cold hard logic and pure emotion.
And that brings us back to Keshav's favorite saying, the one that just sums it all up perfectly. Bihar decides in silence and shocks in the end. That's really the ultimate takeaway. The real decision is made quietly, far away from all the noise, and the result, well, it always defies a simple explanation.
So what's the big takeaway here? Maybe it's that the most profound stories in a democracy are rarely the loudest ones. They're written in millions of quiet, individual choices that together somehow form one collective, unpredictable will. This is Bihar, this is democracy, and this is its truly unforgettable election story.